how it was in the beginning?
Yeah.
Shit, we just wanted to do music for the neighborhood. Be ghetto stars.
Not many movies manage to capture the moment in time. This is the same for both movies and music. But a movie that manages to capture the special moment in culture where everything started to switch angles is bound to cause a stir. So has this movie succeeded in capturing that moment in time and portray it honestly? And is the movie any good? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Straight Outta Compton.
The reality raps, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's it.
Straight Outta Compton is a biopic based on the rise and fall of the revolutionary rap group N.W.A. The movie is directed by F. Gary Gray and written by Jonathan Herman and Andrea Berloff. The production on the project started all the way back in 2009, with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, members of the group, were a part of the production team. The director F. Gary Gray already worked with both Cube and Dre on Friday and Set It Off respectively. However, back when the project started, the late great John Singleton was set to direct it. And with all due respect to Gray, I would have rather watched the Singleton version, may he rest in peace.
It's time to let someone else take care of him now.
The story of the movie follows the main members of the N.W.A. crew, mainly Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-e, depicting their early upbringings and the rough environment in which they grew up in. It tells the story of how they linked up and started creating music and playing in house parties.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Oh, shit. Hey, that was dope, eh?
This leads Eazy to be noticed by a slick agent called Jerry Heller, who promises the world to Izzy and the crew as they form their own music label, Ruthless, and produce new sound in rap and hip-hop dubbed gangster rap.
I will make you legit.
It seems as if I could do something for you.
This was a new thing in culture, and it took the young crowds by storm. Not only the black community, but the white one as well, with songs about police brutality, living in Compton, drugs, gangs, and the hood, and everything in between.
Let's give them N.W.A.
Hell yeah.
All right?
All right.
Let's go get this money.
The story continues as the group finds success, and like the song said, more money, more problems. And the tears in the group began to show as Cube suspects foul play when it comes to the contracts and leaves the group to pursue a solo career.
Jerry, you know I don't know what none of this legal shit mean. All right, none of us do. We're gonna need a lawyer before we sign anything.
Everybody else has already signed.
This, of course, leads the rest of the group to diss him on their next album, which, of course, prompts one of the most famous diss songs of all time.
I ain't say shit about them on America's Most Wanted. Now they trying to diss?
Goddamn, I'm glad y'all set it off.
The rift continues as Dr. Dre leaves the group to form Death Row Records with a Blood Gang member called Suge Knight and finds new talent like Snoop Dogg and Tupac. And at the very end, we see Eazy-e discovers the truth about Jerry Heller, finds out about his disease, and tries to piece the group back together.
And if Dre with it, I'm with it. But I don't know your relationship with dude. But if you want me, Eric, Jerry can't be there.
Normally, I keep my reviews spoiler-free, but I felt like this time, quite a few people kind of know the ending to the story, so there's no shocking revelation or a massive spoiler to be spoiled. However, this is a movie, and with every biopic, you have to realize that it is here to entertain you. So most of the bullet points in history that really happened to the group are depicted in this movie, but everything else is left to dramatization. But in terms of the filmmaking, I found it interesting that a lot of the exterior shots were done on location and in Compton. And in fact, the cast and the crew got a healthy dose of when keeping it real goes wrong. Because in one of the shooting days, there was a real-life drive-by shooting happening close by. None of the cast and crew were harmed, but it was a taste of reality, even in 2014, trying to depict the late 80s. This probably goes the same for Suge Knight himself, who was on set in early 2015 and was later on in the day involved in a hit-and-run accident which ended up him being in prison for 28 years.
Well, you're wasting your time. Mr. Manager.
You gotta be kidding me.
You're wasting your time.
Really?
These clients of yours, these
Yeah?
rappers,
Yeah.
they look like gang members.
In terms of the casting, most of the N.W.A. crew, including the main characters, are portrayed by relatively unknowns, with an exception, O'Shea Jackson Jr., the son of Ice Cube, portraying his own father. And the only famous face in the bunch is actually Paul Giamatti playing Jerry Heller, the group's manager and agent. Personally, I haven't seen Giamatti fail in any movie that he does, and in this movie, he manages to portray Heller as both sympathetic to the crew and a sly devil who screws them over.
So I could take this to a lawyer or somebody, right?
Cube, those guys are paid to make trouble. They're gonna create problems where no problems exist.
As for my recommendation, this movie will take you down memory lane and shows you not only the slice of life from a certain part of America, but also shows you the tide that was turning when hip-hop transformed itself from a rather niche music genre to a dominant one in the music scene. But it wasn't just that. The themes that were infused in the songs changed, from speaking about dancing, girls, and having fun, to the streets, gangs, drugs, police brutality, and anything in between, infusing truth as the performers see it, rather than just sugarcoating it. The musical style that N.W.A. brought and the LA sound that they invented is shown in front of the camera as it develops, and how these characters took things to the limit, and of course, to the breaking point. Because this group didn't just change hip-hop, it set a precedent about free expression and free speech. And this is a theme that is running through this film, especially with Ice Cube.
Freedom of speech includes rap music, right? But we exercising our First Amendment as far as I'm concerned.
And speaking about that, I did love the fact that at some point they did acknowledge John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, which starred Ice Cube himself, because I do believe that one does not exist without the other. The movie presents not only the music and the lives of these people, but also the cultural shift, and this is why I felt it was important to watch it at the time, and I loved rewatching it for this review. I will highly recommend you watch this movie, even if you don't like rap at all. And this is just to get an idea of what was happening at the time, especially in the late 80s, early 90s, in music and in real life, because those are depicted side by side. The movie became much more relevant after the 2024 hip-hop civil war that still reverberates until this day, in which Kendrick Lamar, who took part in it, does have a 5-second cameo at the end credits. And if you listen closely, he foreshadowed the whole thing.
This right here is a gift.
It's the FBI, what you talking
This is free publicity for N.W.A.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.